Well, their stingrays are carved from wood. Most of what I do is sort of based around wood carving, and then is juxtaposing that with other materials. Whether they're found objects or things that I've created. The rain installation is made from silver-plated ball chain and crystals. My name is Abdul-Rahman Abdullah, and I'm an artist based in Perth, or just south of Perth. I work mainly in sculpture and installation. I guess much of my work draws on memories and how memories can, as I describe it, inhabit and emerge from familial space. Because it's largely autobiographical, although not entirely, it is, most of it's rooted in my own story. But a big part of that story is a mix of cultures for me. My mum's Malay, my dad is white Australian, and we're a Muslim family. I come from a Muslim family. And so there's a real blend of cultures. And I find, while that's not a unique position, it sort of gives an insight into how things can mix and how things blend together. So many of my works relate specifically to my family or to, more importantly, to individual family members. And whether they're present in the work, they're always present around the work. And this particular work, this installation for the National called Pretty Beach, is very specifically about my granddad. My granddad, her Grandpa Cliffy as we called him, he passed away in 2009. So 10 years ago he took his own life. So in that sense, the work is a memorial in some sense, a celebration in another sense about my granddad's passing. And I wanted to work out how I could communicate that in a way that was, gave it the dignity which I felt, it already had. He lived up in an area called Pretty Beach, which is on the Central Coast, New South Wales, north of Sydney. The work itself was based on quite a specific memory from, I don't know exactly when, but sometime in the 80s as a kid, going to visit, as we did. Out the front of his house, there was a long jetty sticking out into the bay, and at high tide, the water would come up under the jetty and under the house. The water was probably about waist deep, crystal clear. And I remember being out there by myself as a kid, watching the stingrays come in and swimming under the jetty, sort of passing under your feet, and it's just a fascinating thing. And then the rain coming in across the bay, and you can see such distances, it's like a curtain coming in, and just like crumple that surface of the water, take it away, take the stingrays away from my view, and they just swam on regardless. And it didn't matter to them, they weren't getting any wetter. But that idea that they're living their life, and then they just continue on, they're just taken away from what I can see and understand. I see that almost as like a phrase or a passage that reflects how I wanted to feel about Granddad. Like, he was there and then he was taken away, but that part of him that matters just continues on. And I guess culturally, it's like that idea of a soul and an afterlife is something, at the core of what Muslims believe and what I grew up with. So expressing that without being prescriptive or being didactic about, something very specific happening. I just wanted to get to sort of create the idea that life goes on, that consciousness, that's something that whatever it is that makes a person who they are, it continues on. It's just taken away from us here. Now this space that I've got the privilege of sharing with the work of Kumanara Williams, there's just a real dignity and a gravitas that I guess I didn't expect until I came in here for the install, that really just gives a sense of reflection to the work. I mean, the works speak to each other in a way that I couldn't plan, I guess. I couldn't do that myself. That's something that's bigger than the individual works and something that I really appreciate. I mean, geographically, the idea of the passing of elders, work from APY lands, sitting here with a work about the the rain falling on the Central Coast, New South Wales. There's such in that contrast there's such a unity, and in some way that describes this this country or these countries that we're living on and in. There's just such an extremity of difference, but there's so much beauty in that.